This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
Dual flavor, by the way, 651 Carpets Studios here in St. Louis Park, but also just this beautiful, peaceful, it's like training camp. There's tranquility, there's serenity. There's Joe Huber. There's all sorts of things going on at the Countryside Manor in London, in the London area, outside of London, I believe, which is where PA is. And, PA, I went to break listening to Jets a little bit during his presser and then just kind of going to pause. I'm just thinking, with the way things are, like depth chart deep dives. And I know you have a lot of extra time on your hands at this particular moment, or at least, you're not time on your hands, but maybe you're just more captive given the fact that you're in the lap of luxury at the Countryside Manor with no air conditioning.
There's a lot of sitting around.
There is?
Yeah. Well, you've said it before. Our time slot, 9 to noon, Central.
Yeah.
It's the best you can have in radio.
It is.
3 to 6. I mean, it's not like I've done full shows the last couple of days, but still, committed to the fan and being here and doing radio. 3 to 6 ain't the greatest in the world if you're thinking about 4 hours in round trip L-ish traffic to get to London proper. So no, we're good.
No, a lot
of sitting around.
But that means that the voluminous depth chart has to be absolutely incredible right now. Like, more. I mean, and you mentioned it. I mean, some of these fat cats that they're bringing on Sunday, whether it's Shelby Harris, it's Malik Collins, like it's big in size for days. You went down, you're hitting me with some undrafted cat, Aiden Huntington. But what is, kind of captivating your interest in terms of, this specific defensive group, outside of, Delpit. And you kind of hit me with this, by the way. I wasn't aware. I mean, I know who Grant Delpit is. I wasn't aware that he's kind of established himself as maybe one of the pillars of that Browns defense. So I got to school myself up a little bit. But just from like a depth chart deep dive, whether it's like, wow, you wouldn't believe what Ronnie Hickman's doing. Like what's stretching your imagination in terms of Stefanski's group defensively into Sunday?
All right, 2 things here. I get long-winded, the fan has learned. So what's mandatory break time here for Murphy, Zay Scott, then operations guy?
We got 10 minutes, 24.
Okay. Secondly, I leave, and every single day you play real music out into segments. I mean, what is it because it's Blakemore responsible for pulling it out?
Yes. Well, that's part of it.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
No.
It's like Michael Jackson, Doobie Brothers yesterday.
Dude, I am honestly just going to freaking lose it if I have to continue listening to rights-free and bless these people who make a living making this music, by the way, that's available to us. But my goodness, I need some freaking soul back in the mix. I need some loose booty. I need some Earth, Wind, and Fire. I need some Curtis Mayfield.
Some loose booty.
I need some loose booty.
All right, what do we need to know here?
Deep chart depth dive, just feeling it.
Myles Garrett, first overall pick in 2017, 4 sacks this year, 6-time All-Pro. That's cool. Not the Pro Bowl bit, the one that matters, All-Pro.
Yeah.
4-time first-team All-Pro. Denzel Ward has 4 defensive touchdowns in his career. 2 pick sixes, couple of fumble recoveries. Their nickel, their third corner, Miles Harden, second-year South Dakota, go crazy Yotes. His last interception, August of 2023 in college at Missouri. Now, Cleveland in playing, now this is a home game for Cleveland, but I think when people listen to it on the audio leader in KFAN, 8:30 a.m. Sunday, it's going to be a Vikings home game. There are going to be dramatically more Vikings fans than Browns games. So technically this is, it's a game away from the dog pound. Cleveland this year in 2 games away from the dog pound, have a points differential of minus 48. In their 2 at the dog pound at home, they're plus 2 with a victory. So there's that when it comes to their defense. Mason Graham has a half sack, and he's like 2.5 tackles a game. So he doesn't play every play, but I just, for some reason, like when I ask people about him, including O'Connell with X's and O's, what was that, 2 days ago?
Yeah.
like he didn't go down the road deep on Mason Graham. I just, wonder how well Mason Graham is playing. Malik Collins, he's a beef eater. Unrestricted free agent from the Niners, only a sack and a half, 10th year from Nebraska. He and Shelby Harris are problems. Now, Shelby's in his 11th year from Illinois State. And we remember a game when the Broncos were in town where they were leading by like 3 touchdowns at halftime.
Oh, yeah.
Then Rudy caught that one from Chains, and the place was as loud as you're going to hear it. Well, Shelby Harris in that game for the Broncos just absolutely mauled man. Now, that's several years ago, but he's still going very, very strong. Jerome Baker, 8th year from Ohio State, unrestricted from Tennessee. He has 2 pick sixes. Aiden Huntington was undrafted from Tulane, only a half sack, but 98 plays a lot. Why? Because he's one of those big, fast, strong bits that nobody's heard of. And he plays a lot, and he fits the role that they want to do quite well. Carson Schwessinger, the second-round rookie from UCLA, plays every play. He's part of their nickel linebacker group. Very, very fast. Just think Peyton Wilson, 41 for the Steelers from last game. They kind of play the same way. And they play a lot of single high safety. So you're going to see 33 Ronnie Hickman as like the angel on the shoulder bit above it all.
Yeah.
I'm not sure they're going to do that in this game. Maybe they will, because that's how they play and that's how they play best. But in doing so, Delpit gets down by the line. So 9, Grant Delpit's down by the line of scrimmage a ton. And he's in essence an extra linebacker. He plays a lot like Metellus. Are they going to really do that against Jefferson and Addison and Naylor and Hawkinson? We'll see. We'll see. It's a pick your poison bit here. If they're going to single 18-3, then if Jordan Addison has a 100-yard game or more, it would be the first time in his career he's gone back-to-back with 100-yard games, and he's 100 yards from 2,000 in his career. Oof. And Jordan at practice, Jordan Addison from the Patriots joints through the Steelers game and the practice up to it, through the 2 practices I've seen, he's never looked better. He looks so good and engaged right now. So that's the Browns defense. Want anything on the offense?
Well, yeah, I guess as I'm looking at this, Cam Robinson's going to play, isn't he? I know Conklin on the right side has been limited with that elbow bit, but they're really going to ship this guy over in a cargo container and flop him out on the field at Tottenham. Cam Robinson's going to play left tackle, maybe?
Yeah, I'll be surprised if he starts. Remember, left-handed quarterback. So the right tackle is the bit. Okay, the right tackle is the key here. Jack Conklin, I didn't see practice report today, but I think they're going to get him up for the game. And Conklin's good, so he would play right tackle. Cornelius Lucas would play left tackle. Dylan Gabriel has played this year, 3 of 4, 19 yards, touchdown, no picks. The touchdown he threw was to fellow rookie Dylan Sampson. Sampson is a 4th-round rookie from Tennessee, backs up Judkins. And this will be the starting debut for Gabriel, 5'11" southpaw from Honolulu. And, in the mop-up duty against Detroit and Baltimore, he didn't really play that much, but they let him throw 4 times for 19 yards. He's never been sacked, never thrown an interception. He's yet to run the ball. And let me ask you this. Don't you think he has 155 passing touchdowns in college?
Yeah.
Most in FBS history. All right. He played 6 years at Central Florida, Oklahoma, and Oregon. He also ran 33 touchdowns during college, but I think there should be an asterisk on this 155 because my man played 6 years.
Yeah, no, it's still, it boggles. It's so boring with the NIL bit and just, you think going back to that COVID year when even the Gophers, they had guys that were like on their 7th season because of extra eligibility and all of this. And now your ability to transfer, and they're just pulling rabbits out of hats with these extra seasons these kids get. There should be an asterisk there, and maybe the Honolulu native will get laid out by this Viking. Yeah, it's just so dumb. But looking forward to seeing how, sadly, without Alex, I just pulled a Bursich here, Andrew Van Ginkel.
Do I have 2 more minutes?
You do have 2 more minutes. Anything else on the cutting room floor?
Cool battle of the Kevins, O'Connell and Stefanski.
It is.
O'Connell, 2024 Coach of the Year. Stefanski, two-time Coach of the Year. O'Connell was with Cleveland in 2015 as the quarterback's coach. Johnny Manziel, though, it was his first coaching job. Mike Patton, who's also on the Vikings staff now, was the head coach of the Browns then. He gave Kevin his first opportunity. Stefanski spent 14 years with the Vikings, offensive coordinator 2018, or half of it, and 2019. From a Vikings defensive standpoint, I think this is really cool. The Vikings have allowed 7 plays this year through 4 of 20 yards or more. Just 7. That's tied for first with Blakemore's team, the Green Bay Packers. 7 through 4 is a pretty good number. And when you get to 3rd and 6 or longer, against Flores defense, and Byron Murphy and I are going to chat about this next segment, the opponents are 2 of 26. So 2 first downs, 24 non-first downs. That's tops in the NFL. Pittsburgh went 1 for 5 when 3rd or 6 and longer. You think I've had a lot of time on my hands? It's only Thursday. Are you freaking kidding me?
And that's what I love when I watch you starting to put those things together on a weekly basis, man. Those are delicious. And that 2 of 26, put that kid back there on 3rd and 6 or longer and let Flores feast. Last little bit for you. Anything impress you? I mean, we know about Njoku and Harold Fan and the way they use him. Anything cool about Isaiah Bond or Jamari Thrash? Like, it just feels, other than Judy, I'm familiar with him, just, really on the grind Stefanski is with young playmakers, and then maybe some guys that they're trying just to muster anything positive out of.
Well, Isaiah Bond, undrafted from Texas, rookie. He got Joe Flacco benched. All right. I mean, it's either Flacco threw it to a lion or Bond ran the wrong route. I'm willing to roll the dice that Bond ran the wrong route. So nevertheless, he's number 16 and he's never scored an NFL touchdown. Then you get Jerry Jeudy. He hasn't run the ball in 3 years. He has 0 touchdowns this year. Jamari Thrash, second year from Louisville, fifth rounder in 2024, 0 touchdowns. Njoku, 0 touchdowns. Harold Fannin Jr., 0 touchdowns. Third running back who plays, Jerome Ford, 0 touchdowns. You get the bit here. They don't score a lot of touchdowns.
No, they certainly do not. That's awesome, man. Thanks for doing a little depth chart deep dive with me. I'm going to say we're going to hear from Zay Scott and Byron Murphy Jr. around the corner. I'll check back in with you for a final segment, all right?
Yep. Thanks, bud. Good work.
Thank you. That's PA back in London. And around the corner, you're going to get to hear PA chatting, not just with running back Zavier Scott, but also Vikings corner Byron Murphy Jr., some sneaky post-practice chats that he recorded earlier this morning. That's next, 9 to noon on the Fan. Welcome back. It's Nordo here. It's 9 to noon. Couple segments to go. This segment, we have a couple of chats that PA was able to catch up on, some Covenant catch-ups, London Town style. And first, you'll hear from Byron Murphy Jr. momentarily, but first, running back Zavier Scott, who sadly, due to injury, has gotten a lot more reps and made some plays and kind of working his way into the mix with the Minnesota Vikings. Zavier Scott chatting with PA earlier this morning. Let's listen.
Well, I didn't get to see you much after the game, so congratulations on your first touchdown.
Thank you. I appreciate you, Paul.
Yeah, for sure. And when you watch it back, because I didn't see a replay of it, I mean, and pardon the question, were you 100% in?
100% in. Okay. Yeah, looking back, 100% in. At the time, I'm like, I feel like I'm in. I think I'm in. Yeah. And then looking back, 100%.
Well, the reason I ask is because supposedly, they have play clocks in both end zones, which was a problem in this game, but they review all touchdowns. And I thought that was super close, and they just went bang, bang. I guess it wasn't that close, right?
Yeah. No, they found a perfect angle, honestly. And you can still see the strip of the yellow. So it was reviewed, and it was, sure enough, it was a touchdown.
So this Browns defense, AFC North, don't get a chance to watch them much. Myles Garrett, Delpit, Denzel Ward, we know some of the names. So just when I say Browns defense, boom, what comes to mind?
Myles Garrett, for sure. I mean, those guys, they all play hard. They have a good defense, and we already know they're gonna bring their game, and we know we'll bring ours too. So when I think about their defense, is definitely that they're tough. They're coming to play football.
Now, knowing that you were a receiver before a running back, I still just marvel when I look at you because you're big. And just receivers, they're big receivers, Megatron, DK Metcalf, guys like that. But, I mean, have you always, been this big and a receiver and fast?
I was always in that middle ground where I'm playing receiver, running back, and coaches were kind of not sure which one I'd be at more. But yeah, I've definitely grown into my body a little bit more throughout college. Okay. Started college at 190, ended up my last few years being about 215 to 220, where I'm at.
Yeah, I was chatting with O'Connell a couple of days ago, and we were talking about you. And I'm like, and this may seem so remedial and basic or whatever, but, what somebody does in a preseason or in practice or in training camp, well, the regular season's different. Yeah. And the pressure's different and everything. And I'm like, wow, it's just cool to see Zay make guys miss, slide after he catches it. Are even the most basic things, are they just, do you feel like they're starting to come together when you get opportunity?
I feel like I had a good foundation before, before this time really came, that once it came, it just feels normal, feels natural, and there's things always to improve on within that foundation to make sure there's no cracks. But I think that I handled it the right way before, and the foundation's set.
What do you genuinely enjoy about being a Minnesota Viking and your current role, or say Aaron's back and it's Aaron and Jordan, and say you're inactive or you're active? What do you genuinely enjoy about the whole thing?
I enjoy just the camaraderie, the team, just the team in general, man. I think it's a special group, special atmosphere, and no matter what role you play, they're all valued. And whether that be a practice squad guy like I was last year, it's valued, or if it's an active guy, inactive guy, whatever it is, there's value there, and that's something that I really appreciate about this organization. And I value everybody, top to bottom, in this organization, and there's just some amazing people, great hearts throughout the organization.
When you're on the practice squad and you're running a scout team, so in essence, say this week, if it was last year, you could be Judkins or you could be Sampson. What's key about a role for practice squad guys doing that?
Yeah, it's fun, actually. I last year, for me at least, I would look at the guys that we're going against, whether that be the Montgomerys, the James Conner, those different guys throughout the league, and try to mimic their game to the best of my ability that week for the defense, to give them a realistic look from all the way to their stances. Some guys are a little higher in their stances, some guys are super low in their stances, some guys are more speed backs, some guys are more cutbacks, some guys are just different types of game that each guy plays with. So I tried to be intentional with that as a practice squad guy last year.
So you'll watch them and try to emulate almost exactly what they do.
Yeah, I did that to the best of my ability, because that's how you get the team ready. And I feel I took part in when we would win, when we would lose, I would feel like I could have did better being on practice squad. I could have gave them a better look throughout the week to prepare for that. And I think that's the mindset you have to go into it with, regardless of your role.
All right, Zay. So like last year, say you got to emulate Jahmyr Gibbs. Yeah. Does that mean you have to stand straight up really?
Yeah, we can find film. I was standing straight up. You could, and then when I would have when they would tell me I'm Montgomery, I would get in a different stance. 100%.
That's great.
We can go back and find film. I 100% did that. Yeah.
Last one. You and I last year, and then now more this year, have become closer via our Christian faith. Why is that so important to you?
And this last game was a huge testament to that, if I'm being honest. The team took really good care of us, the physical aspect of things last week, and there's some things I was dealing with going into the game, and I was just praying, God, I was like, not by might, not by power, but by your spirit is the only way I'll be able to do that, have this game, play this game, and and by the grace of God, I was able to play well, and not have to. When I was out in the field, I wasn't feeling any of the things I was feeling outside of the time. So that's little things like that is why it means so much to me. And I know this is the first time you've heard it, but that's a huge testimony, man. I can't thank God enough. And my prayer was that I'd have the chance to share that.
Yeah, and it just further personifies that, as the gospel would teach. Sure, we love God, but it's how much He loves us, more so than any way we can think we can possibly love Him, right?
Yeah, and we see it day in and day out. I mean, we see His mercies are new every morning. The sun rises. There's amazing people all around us. Regardless of our what we believe, there's beautiful hearts, beautiful souls within every person, and God did that for a reason.
That's running back Zay Scott with PA earlier this morning. And following his chat with the running back, he caught up with cornerback Byron Murphy Jr.
So have you ever picked off a left-handed quarterback?
I believe so.
Wow.
I believe I have, and obviously I got to do it again. But
right.
if I could take it back to memories, I got to really think about that.
Wow,
if you
nail that, that's going to be unbelievable.
I think lefty quarterback. Can you help me out?
No, I can't, but because I didn't look through all your interceptions to see if there are any lefties, then we can go back to college and stuff like that. But does the ball? This is a weird question, man. With a left-handed quarterback, does the ball come out different? Like, do you got the spin and everything?
I think I wouldn't say it's too much of a difference, but obviously I feel like left-hand quarterbacks do have a little bit more like speed. I would say velocity on the ball. I'm obviously watching his film, Dylan. He definitely can make throws. From the boundary to the field, out routes and all that. So he definitely has a strength. He has a big arm. So I think lefty just have more velocity on the ball.
So in what's known as a copycat league, when you see Rodgers, bam, 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 quick, bam, 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 quick. Do teams generally think they can pick up on something and try to emulate that the next game?
Yeah, I definitely feel like each team comes with a different game plan against our defense. They always come in with a different game plan that obviously we kind of see on film. But as we know, obviously playing a couple of games now, teams are definitely trying to quick game, get the ball out fast.
Right.
I think the time Coach Hatt told us was like 1 second or something like that. So we know they're trying to get the ball out. Obviously, a rookie quarterback coming in, they're probably trying to keep the game plan simple, get the ball out quick, and obviously pick off what happened last week.
Now. Rush and coverage meshing obviously is 10 of 10 important. But you guys this year, 3rd and 6 and longer, all right, as a defense. I think 2 first downs against 24 times not first downs. What do you think the keys are to that? 3rd and 6 or longer. You guys are number 1 in the league.
I just think those are the downs we were locked in. 3rd downs is something we always, we practice. We always, all the DBs, we take that in our hands, go out there and do what we have to do on 3rd down to get, obviously to get offense the ball. But 3rd down is something we just always lock in on for sure.
So with Dylan Gabriel, when you only have a handful of snaps to look at, I know talking to coaches, they'll say scheme first, player second. I get that. But how do you handle that when somebody is barely played?
I think obviously he's trying to get the ball in, his playmakers' hands. Obviously they got guys on the outside, Judy, those guys, good running back, other receivers as well. So I just feel like it's the scheme. Obviously you got to go with the scheme, but it's obviously getting your best players the ball. And obviously as a rookie quarterback, you're trying to, I'm not saying force anything to your best player, but you're going to definitely give them more targets than usual.
All right, so we're 4 into it. How do you think your season's going so far?
Great. Obviously we got some, stuff to, make up. We're not where we want to be as a defense, as a team, but obviously you got to take it game by game. And this week we're just focused on being 1-0 and going from there.
Byron Murphy's our guest. Couple of quickies to close here. Judkins, their running back. Again, not much experience, but it looks like he has a chance to be decent.
Definitely. I watched film. Great running back. Runs hard. So you got to definitely go out there and tackle him. Make sure we stop that yardage as well. Stop the run and get everything else going.
And then you being a bona fide team leader, in human nature gets to win. Okay, if you let it win. What I'm getting at here, by the time they play this game, you're going to have been in Europe a week and a half. You got the bye after that. You're a team leader. You know what I'm saying here is human nature cannot creep in at this stage, right?
Definitely cannot. Obviously, we can't focus on the bye week. We got to take care of what we came here for, and that's business. So, and obviously, we already have the mindset we're not leaving here without a win. So that's what's going to have to be. So we have no choice to go out there, show up. Obviously, we'll get the win. And obviously, going to the bye week, that's going to come. That's when we get time to rest. So let's go, I'll play our hearts out and go put it all on the line.
You're fantastic. Thank you.
Sir, appreciate you.
Byron Murphy Jr. with PA out London way, and we're going to check back in with the host. Final segment 9 to noon is next. Final segment 9 to noon, and we're going to jump right on back out to London here. PA on site, on scene. Final segment 9 to noon, I believe with a special guest. What up, PA?
Indeed. Thank you, Nords. It's Paulie Wally. It's Paul Martin, Director of Team Operations. If we travel internationally, it's mandatory to have Paul or part of the staff. Chad Lundeen is the Vice President of Operations. And Chuck Peterson, Senior Manager of Team Operations, Milan Burgess, Team Operations Manager, and Paul's been a friend of mine for more than a couple of decades, and this is an unprecedented journey. So let's begin here. How's the heart?
I'm hanging in there. I think most of the time when I sit down with you, I've got a few espressos in front of me and haven't slept in 36 hours, but this is definitely a little bit different. I feel a little bit better.
Good. Yeah. Well, we're in the second half now. So, being director of team operations and again, Chad, vice president of operations and facilities, Chuck, and Milan, plus so many others do so much work to make the engine go. And it's not just for home games or road games, but this is the first multi-country back-to-back scenario for a National Football League team. And, whether it's working with equipment or there are just so many more entities that make this go. Like who?
Yeah, I mean, that's, certainly something I wanted to point out is there's a lot of talented people that are behind the scenes here, from our equipment staff, our medical staff, our video, IT, nutrition, things like that. All of us have to work in conjunction to make sure that, these trips go as smoothly as possible. The players feel like, there's not major disruptions. We can prepare for a game like we would anywhere else.
So having been at this Manor multiple times now, and then playing at Tottenham Hotspur for a third time, I mean, that's an advantage, right? I mean, it's knowing kind of what's coming at you is major here, right?
Yeah, I mean, certainly more of my attention was focused on Dublin, being the first time, not only for us, but for any NFL team. The history and the experience we have with the staff here, with the grounds here, having a practice field on site, all of those things are, a nice, feather in the cap as you're working through months of planning.
So with two countries, what are unique challenges like that go? Well, first and foremost, Dublin, it's the first time for anybody. So start there. But what are some unique challenges compared to a road trip where you land in Appleton?
Yeah, I mean, starting with Dublin, the number one thing is, any sports teams or programs that they have come through there, they are not coming through at the size and, the numbers that we had, pushing 200 people over there. They're used to, their soccer groups and things like that are 40, 50, 60 people. So, just the sheer numbers was number one. And then just, we have a different program, the meetings that we have, the meals and the size of the menus and, the ins and outs of traveling to practice and, to walk through at the stadium and things like that. They just don't see with some of the other groups.
Mm-hmm.
And then, kind of the biggest thing that was on my mind for, basically since day one was the transition from Dublin to London. Not only flying our people here, but we've got suitcases full of 11 days worth of clothes and 37,000 pounds of equipment that was needed for, all the practices and the games and things like that. So, to make it here Monday evening and to be 30 minutes ahead of schedule, I couldn't have been happier.
Well, I'm just laughing because, I mean, whether it's texting, talking to you, it's to see you relaxed is fantastic because I don't know exactly what goes into this, but I know that has been a lot for not only weeks, but months up to it. And the Dublin portion of the equation went perfectly. So, I mean, to get in there, have things go well. Sadly, the team didn't win, but then to get to London, like you said, I mean, that ain't easy, but it seemed to go well. Now, I mentioned the name Chuck Peterson, senior manager of team operations. See, between you, Chad, and Milan, I think Chuck has an enviable role, and here's why. Because he gets to be out of practice and catch passes and throw passes and snap and and do a bunch and play catch and stuff. Why does he get to do that? I think Milan can run routes.
Yeah, she's out there too. Honestly, I kind of mentioned it earlier, but practice is like my peaceful time to be back in the office or back in the hotel and just kind of regroup and figure out the rest of the day and what's ahead of us. So, I know they enjoy it. I'm happy to let them do it.
Yeah.
I am just fine with the role that I have. Yeah.
Where you're Minnesotan. Where'd you go to high school? Where'd you go to college?
Yep. Little Falls is my hometown, and University of Minnesota Morris.
Right on. At University of Minnesota Morris, did you want to get into pro sports operations? And was there ever a time where you thought you'd be putting together a Dublin to London trip?
No, definitely did not have that on my list of to-dos when I was 20 years old. But, actually, that's kind of where it started. We didn't have the sports management program when I arrived, and my class kind of helped build it, I guess you could say. And and we were the first graduating class with the sports management degree there. So that's kind of where it started.
With the team meals, breakfast, snack, lunch, dinner, the whole thing. I mean, it's A+ service and accommodations. Does the team have a say in the food, or is it what they offer here at Hanbury Manor or previously at the Shelbourne?
Yeah. No, it's 100% the team's choice.
Oh, it is.
And we do like to go with a little bit of the local fare, whether it's abroad or even in the States. If we're in Louisiana, we're going to, go that direction. So we definitely have a lot to say.
Well, you guys have done fantastic work. Thank you for the A+ accommodations. Thank you for joining the radio show. Anything else you want to add?
No, it's great to be here.
And it's great to see you smile.
Yeah.
Thank you, Paulie.
All right.
That's Paul Martin, Director of Team Operations for the Minnesota Vikings. Thank you very much, Nordo, and we'll chat with you tomorrow for the Friday Football Feast. Likewise for producer Brett Blakemore. And from the Minnesota Vikings Team Hotel outside of London proper, I'm Paul Allen. That's 9 to noon at FM 100.3 KFAN. Bye-bye.
Podcast today's Paul Allen Show, or listen back to previous show and interviews by going to the iHeartRadio app or KFAN.com.